What's up, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. I hope everybody's doing well out there this Friday morning. I'm doing well myself, being that it's Friday. I should be in the bed asleep, but I decided, when I came across this story, that I'll give y'all a consumer report warning about this bottled water. I don't know how many of y'all out there, buy bottled water. As far as I'm concerned, it's a waste of money simply because you already paying for it and it's in your house. You understand what I mean? And you already got it, and it's coming directly out of your tap. You see what I'm saying? So there's really no real reason, to waste money on bottled water. I know they like to tell you it's from the mountains of springs and all that crap. You know what I mean? But no, you already got the same water. You know what I mean? That's running, through your faucet in your home. They just turn around, lie to you, and sell it right back to you, outdoors, basically. But what it says researchers found high levels of arsenic in bottled water sold at Whole Foods and Walmart. Here's how worried you should be. Okay. Another story I've seen is just not Walmart and what's that? Whole Foods. It was also at Target as well. You know, but it says here a new round of tests from the Center of Environmental Health found high levels of arsenic in bottled water brands owned by Whole Foods and Keurig Dr. Pepper. The brands in question, Starkey and what's that? Penifley, sold at various locations, including Walmart, have been associated with elevated concentration of arsenic in the past. The CEH said its finding almost exactly mirror an investigation from Consumer Reports, which found levels of arsenic that exceed the allowable limit set by the FDA. And if the FDA should, they saying, certain allowable shit is borderline already messed up. Tell you that. Most people are exposed to arsenic daily in trace amounts, but high levels of exposure over time may increase one's risk of cancer, heart disease, and diabetes. What's that? Visit Business Insider homepage for more stories. Man, I'm up here looking at this article here and all that. Bottled water may be considered a luxury item, but it's also a life-saving tool depending on where you live. Okay. In the wake of the Flint crisis, which exposed around 10,000 Michigan residents to unsafe drinking water, the state distributed bottled water to keep locals from drinking lead-contaminated sludge. In Pakistan, locals rely on bottled water to avoid diarrhea or more serious illnesses. Even famed clean water advocate Erin Brockovich said she feels safest drinking bottled water when she's away from home. Well, I can understand, that when in another country because, like in Africa, they claim, you can get malaria and all that kind of stuff. All kinds of different diseases, when you go, out of the country and drink water. So they say. That's the rumor. But yeah, I know one thing. There shouldn't be any contaminated water, period, here in America. This ain't no third world country. And them people who did that shit in Flint, Michigan should be under the prison for that. You understand what I'm saying? They should be under the prison, as far as I'm concerned, and not living good. Okay? But back to the story, it says, but not all bottled water is necessarily free of contaminants. A recent round of tests from the Center for Environmental Health, CEH, found high levels of arsenic in bottled water brands owned by Whole Foods and Keurig Dr. Pepper. Exposure to arsenic, a contaminant found naturally in the Earth's crust, has been linked to brain development issues in children and can lead to and increased risk of cancer, heart disease, and diabetes. Well, see, a lot of people are, really concerned with their health. Try to eat right, make sure they get plenty of water. And then when you come across this stuff, man, I tell you, it's just no good. What is a person to do, you know? Okay, it says both Whole Foods and brand Starkey and the Keurig Dr. Pepper brand, was Penanefley, whatever, however way that's pronounced, sold at various locations, including Walmart, have been associated with elevated concentrations of arsenic in the past. Well, there should be something done about this shit, man. These people they don't care about people's health at all. An April 29th, 2019 Consumer Report investigation found that 3 samples of penephrine contained 18 parts per billion of arsenic. Yeah. A level that exceeds the allowable limit of 10 parts per billion set by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA. Since 2009, New Jersey state regulators have found arsenic levels as high as 22 parts per billion in penanefrine water samples. The FDA has also published 2 alerts, one in 2015 and another in 2018, about elevated levels of arsenic and penephrine carbonated water, which is produced in Mexico. Records obtained by Consumer Reports suggest that the FDA knew about penephrine high levels of arsenic as early as 2013. And let me tell you why the bastards never said nothing, because they was thinking about money instead of the people's health. You know? In response to the Consumer Reports investigation, Keurig Dr. Pepper confirmed that it had detected average arsenic levels of 17 parts per billion. That same week, the company said it would suspend production of bottled water for 2 weeks to improve its filtration system. Starsky's arsenic levels, on the other hand, had tiptoed around the FDA threshold. After testing 4 samples of the bottled water brand, Consumer Reports levels ranging from around 9.5 parts per billion, just below the FDA limit, to 10.1 parts per billion, just above the FDA limit. Man, you don't know what you're getting. It's too damn, you gotta put poison in the damn water anyway, because that's what arsenic is, right? In December 2016, Florida, regulators detected 11.7 parts per billion of arsenic in a Starkey sample, prompting the brand to issue a recall. The brand later issued a second recall after another sample showed an arsenic level of 12 parts per billion. The CEH said its findings almost exactly confirms the test from Consumer Reports and have been verified by an independent lab, but it wouldn't disclose the specific levels of arsenic, citing pending litigation. Dirty bastards don't want to pay no money. They know their ass gonna get sued. The group has sent legal notices to Whole Foods and Keurig Dr. Pepper, telling the companies that their bottled water exceeds the arsenic limit set by California's Proposition 65, a state law that requires businesses to alert consumers about significant exposure to toxic chemicals. See, man, and then when folks come down with some kind of diseases and stuff, 9 times out of 10 is from some you eating from these places or drinking. Bottled water companies need to take the necessary steps to remove the toxic metals from their products, and retailers should stop selling them now. Caroline Cox, a senior scientist at CEH, said in a statement, until those conditions are met, we recommend consumers avoid purchasing the Whole Foods, Starkey, and Dr. Pepper's Panafly, whatever. Walmart and Keurig Dr. Pepper did not respond to Business Insider's request for comment. Whole Foods said it had tested the same samples cited by Consumer Reports and found that the product were fully compliant with FDA standards. The company would not comment on the CEH investigation. We would never sell products that do not meet FDA requirements, the company said. Yeah, you lying. That's all you're doing is lying. They don't care. Okay? Like any chemical, the more arsenic you consume, the more it poses a danger to human health. Most people in the U.S. are exposed to arsenic in trace amounts through water, air, and food like seafood, rice, mushrooms, and poultry. Antibiotics, that's what that is. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control estimates that most people consume around 50 micrograms of arsenic each day. Of that dose, just 3.5 micrograms, that's micrograms, comes from inorganic arsenic, the kind found in drinking water, which is most concerning to human health. Both the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, and International Agency for Research on Cancer, IARC, consider inorganic arsenic a human carcinogen. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, long-term exposure to arsenic can produce skin lesions and lead to skin, lung, and bladder cancer. That's a damn shame, man. Poison, basically you poisoning the water. It's better to collect rainwater regardless of in some places, states, it's against the law to collect rainwater. But they want to put poison in your water. You see that shit? In May, U.S. Geological Survey hydrologist Joseph Ayo. Damn, what a messed up name. Joseph Ayo. Yeah, I'm just gonna say Ayo. Told CNN there was evidence that arsenic concentrations below the FDA limit could pose problems for human health. Children are also more likely to experience adverse health effects from consuming arsenic since their bodies are still developing. Brenda Buck, a geoscience professor at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, said it's best to limit exposure to arsenic as much as possible. You think shit like somebody trying to drink some arsenic? Hell, we wouldn't even know about it if you didn't tell folks you was putting it in the water or the food. While it's possible to choose a bottled water brand that doesn't contain high levels of arsenic, it's not always easy to tell whether bottled water has been filtered properly. Water that claims to be pure, such as Starkey, may have been filtered many different ways. The Natural Resources Defense Council estimates that a quarter or more of bottled water is tap water that's been bottled. What'd I tell y'all? Didn't I tell you that? The same stuff you already paying for. Bastards. For some compounds, we don't even know what the best filtration technologies are. Jamie DeWitt, an associate toxicology professor at East Carolina University, told Business Insider, I'm hopeful that my body's need for water outweighs the potential injury to my body from drinking contaminants. What a damn shame. These bastards know they got a lot to answer for. They poisoning the water, y'all. I think what I'm gonna start doing is start probably just collecting rainwater and boiling the hell out of it. You know what I mean? And freezing that water shit and drink it. Some kind of way to filter my own water, man. Damn, you can't trust anyone. Just think how much healthier we'll be if we had clean water. You understand what I mean? Just clean water alone, the pH system, the pH that's in the water is supposed to be like a 7 to be a 7.5, somewhere between 7 and 8. pH, you got water like that, you got good water. That's water right there to keep you from getting sick and everything. No contaminants in it or nothing. You see what I'm saying? Probably even will slow down aging. You understand what I mean? But it's just one of those things. Another thing we got to soldier on through. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this bottled water crisis. You know, arsenic and all that. I like to hear y'all thoughts on it. This is like, comment, share, and subscribe. And this is James, and I'm out. Peace.